Now, we've got a bunch of reports coming in. Foreclosure fraud whistleblower has been found dead. MSNBC is reporting just incredible information on that front. More news on Fukushima radiation risk are severely underestimated. No kidding. We're going to be getting into all of that. We've got incredible federal orders now, basically following the orders of Herr Lieberman, to extrajudicially start delisting anti-government, quote, terror-supporting websites off the web, just delisting them so you can't find it. We're already have been delisted from Google News, Infowars.com, and Prisonplanet.com in the last year. They've moved us down in the rankings, even though we're #1. They're doing everything they can, but now there's government announcements that they're ordering that whole databases of terms they give Google be delisted. And this is kind of an a la carte internet kill switch. I've got that in the news that I'm going to raise with Mancow and some other issues coming up in the next hour. But just huge developments that are taking place right now. That's why more than ever, you've got to get the URL of Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com out to everybody you can. Spray paint it on the side of your business. Spray paint it on your billboard or the side of your barn if it's your property. We don't say write it on bathroom stalls over the cuss words. You don't want to censor the cuss words. That's wrong. I'm not saying if there's some globalist Homeland Security billboard to climb up on it and spray paint Infowars.com. We should let them have a traitor's senate who says they're allowed to insider trade and be public criminals, pass laws saying citizens can be arrested, held forever, tortured, killed, whatever. That's George Washington would love that. We shouldn't do anything to try to resist this. Okay, I'm being sarcastic now. The point is that they're slowly accelerating their program, and now they're getting pretty much to a jog now of censorship and control, blotting out thousands of domains a month. It is on. So that's coming up. Huge financial news as well. In fact, it's now in the news. Bloomberg, Fed lowers interest rate on dollar swaps. And if you look at this, it's basically just more free taxpayer money to the European Central Bank, which is really the same shareholders of the Federal Reserve. So it's just one hand giving it to the other hand. But the hands are attached to the same system. Fed lowers interest rate on dollar swaps. 6 central banks, led by the Federal Reserve, lowered the cost of emergency dollar funding for financial companies in a global effort to ease Europe's sovereign debt crisis. And that sent the markets up. And then a week from now, they'll be back down. They'll be, give us another giant bailout. And the markets will go up. And then, oh, they went down, a new crisis. As they take over every country and say, we'll fix your economy for a few weeks if you just give us total sovereignty and promise to raise all your taxes to pay to the private banks who actually engineered the fraud. I mean, it's that brazen, it's that naked. Here's some of the other headlines. Bank downgrade rampage. Goldman, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup just got cut by S&P, Standard & Poor's. Standard & Poor's rating service just cut the ratings of Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and Citigroup from A to A-. So it was A+, then it was A, now it's A-. Now you see the cities and counties and states starting to go bankrupt. It is beginning. And it'll all be imploded into this new global mega bank that issues global bonds. First a Europe bond, then a global bond. And they'll say, if you're tired of the Depression, give your sovereignty over to the banks. And we're like, but wait, those are the same bankers that engineered this. Delist their website, shut them down. You know, we just got new government documents yesterday, which the government admits. They list mainline libertarian websites like antiwar.com. They list the Oklahoma City bombing investigative committee headed up by State Rep Charles Key, and it's got the former head of the grand jury, Hoppy Heidelberg, and victims and families, members of victims of Oklahoma City who were there saying, hey, we've got the footage of the bombs in the building on local news. We got police saying there were bombs. We've got the ATF showing up minutes after, dressed up in bomb gear. We've got the witnesses in the building saying they saw feds planting big gray sticks of butter who they said were telephone men the day before, McVeigh with known federal agents. we've got all these federal memos that have been leaked and lawsuits that have gotten the FOIA request that show the government was involved, and the FBI head of counterterrorism was there that day, lied about it publicly to Congress. We want an investigation. And you know what Homeland Security has them listed as? Domestic terrorist. In fact, I want to get State Rep Charles Key on about this. It says they are terrorists. It actually says under domestic terrorism, Homeland Security. And they actually give this to every police department. Oh, officers, if they investigate the government blowing this up, they're terrorists. I mean, we have criminals in the government, bought and paid for by the mega banks. They're trying to fully convert us over to a tyranny. And the tunnel only gets deeper and darker if they, you understand, there's no America, there's no nothing. They want to destroy the free market. They want you poor. They want to end the American dream. And cowardly going along with this is only going to empower the system. Do we have that RT clip from yesterday ready? We do, good. On the nightly news last night, I played this clip, and I played other senators admitting that, yes, it's for U.S. citizens, including John McCain, and I want to get to that in a few minutes. And then Do is converting the clips from last night's show. I forgot to tell him, so I can play them here. He's transferring them off that computer system over to this system. I don't know, the files they have over there don't play over here, so we're waiting on those so that I can play you the clips that we put together for the nightly news last night of all these senators going, yes, this legislation does allow the secret arrest and permanent detention of Americans with no judge, no jury, no nothing. The Army will rule America. Just absolute total tyranny. Just 100% secret arrest, you disappear. And they've said in other rulings, we can kill you, we can torture you. Just absolute Joseph Mengele level, off the charts, just North Korea. North Korea. And they'll slowly implement it, of course. It'll be a bad man. It'll be a child molester. It'll be an Al-Qaeda to say, well, they don't deserve any due process, so that you never find out what really happened. I mean, just total 110% bondage. It says if you're suspected by any branch of the military, you're gone. And I have Rand Paul talking about it. I have McCain admitting it. I have Lindsey Graham admitting it. I have all the clips. And still, oh, by the way, the bill passed the Senate. And it's going to go into conference, but the House passed a similar bill, so now it's going to go to Obama's desk. He says he's going to veto, which I've got to say is good. But remember when they tried to give him this power last year, he said, well, I can still have secret arrest and kill American citizens abroad or domestically. I don't need Congress to pass this law. They tried to pass it last year. So last year, I haven't seen Obama's threatened veto statement. It's not public yet. He just said, we'll have a veto. But I did see it last year, and it was, I already have this authority. I don't need you to give it to me. So the lawyers are like, don't even have it under law. That implies that this tyrannical act could be repealed at some time. Execute it through the executive, just as you have done with the new wars you have launched. Don't call it war. Throw that in the slave's face. Destroy the meaning of logic and language. Sire. Of course, he's actually just a minion. Came out, Rahm Emanuel cracks his knuckles in meetings, bosses Obama around, verbally slaps him around. And, of course, Emanuel himself is a puppet. But that's basically the view. We will begin robo-signing, even though it's been ruled to be illegal in your bills. Throw it in their face. No president has ever served as the head of the UN Security Council in its 60-year history plus. But you will serve as the head of the rotating post. That's why they had the Rockefellers, and they had Kissinger and Brzezinski, and I showed the clips. It's in Fall of the Republic. But they are there at the UN in New York, and they're shaking. They're laughing. Some of them have tears in their eyes. They're going, oh. And they actually said on the news, this is quite a moment for them, seeing the president over the UN. While he's president, it's against Article 9, section, I forget, section on the back of Fall of the Republic. Hold on. I know a lot about the Constitution, but sometimes Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution, by seating himself at the head of the United Nations Security Council. Again, he's brazenly violated Article 1, Section 9. The first president to chair the council. And, I mean, they had tears in their eyes. The level of squatting on us and spitting in our face and dragging us through the mud. And now they've introduced new legislation to openly say unlimited torture for false confessions, terror, fear. They already have had federal and state courts rule police can taser you to make you answer questions. I thought there was a Fifth Amendment. No, you can actually type into the search engine. I've seen this in the last 6 years in Florida, New York, and other states. They've had federal and state judges rule, the gentleman would not answer questions while at the hospital, so he was restrained and tasered 19 times until answering. And, of course, that was because of a lawsuit. The guy had heart palpitations and a mild heart attack, and the judge said, we can kill you. And the media is saying, hey, let ESPN cover up child rape for 10 years. That's come out. And I've heard him defending it. You know, it came out with Syracuse and all this. The wife saying, yeah, he's raped kids in front of me. And the media's like, well, let ESPN cover that up. What's the big deal? Murder, torture, rape, death, tasering people strapped down. And it's just more evil. They're going to start taking the bank accounts. They're going to start grabbing more of your kids. They're going to unloose every evil force you can imagine. Forced abortions, all of it coming to America. Forced inoculations, all of it. They're already saying in the news, oh, well, if you're on welfare, because they've created this meme of these lazy welfare people having kids. It's like, oh, you get to have welfare, but now you have to have an abortion. Or, oh, this child was 70 pounds overweight. You know, he was 200 pounds in the third grade. It doesn't matter, his dad's, 6'5" and stocky. Sure, he's a little overweight. We're going to go ahead and take your child and put them on an amphetamine and basically burn out their brain and heart to make them lose, 80 pounds or whatever. And then next, you read the guidelines. If your child's 1% over body weight, they're going to take them. It's all been announced. Again, they set the just maximum evil. Maximum evil. Evil isn't funny. Evil isn't a joke. Evil isn't cute. Evil isn't fun. Hitler's not fun. Mao's not fun. Stalin's not fun. Kim Jong-il's not fun. None of this is fun. Turning loose psychopaths and sociopaths and control freaks and masochists and sadists is not fun. See, every culture for thousands of years, these people manifest something. It's a tropism. They manifest black uniforms, bloodletting, war, sacrifice, death, because for the 1% who are psychopaths, it is beautiful. And they want it, so they're going to get it. Now, before I get to the latest on this, let me just play a short clip when I was on RT yesterday, and some people said, Alex, you got upset towards the end of the clip. Why'd you get upset? Ladies and gentlemen, because they were set to pass the bill, and they did pass it. And something's wrong with you if you don't get upset. The full clip's up at Infowars.com. Something's wrong with you if you don't get upset when the most hardcore legal tyranny is put into place. I mean, that the Senate would say, we can arrest citizens secretly. And I mean, you literally disappear. Where's Bob? We don't know. There's rumors the people that are disappearing are going to facilities. I mean, right out of North Korea, right out of Nazi Germany. I mean, this is this is the Heisman Trophy of tyranny. This is the Super Bowl MVP. This isn't just Super Bowl level tyranny. This is MVP tyranny. This is creme de la creme. This is as certified 100%. If the New World Order was a bull rider, they'd be 10-time champion. Of course, nobody's 10-time champion. Not even Bobby Steiner. But the point is, this is 10 times world bull riding champion here. I mean, this is it. People are like, well, what's the big deal? The birds are still going to be tweeting tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to slowly implement it. And then if they're able to get their plan fully in, they're going to unload this stuff. First, they're going to start shutting down the web. They're going to start censoring talk radio. They'll trade and be public criminals, pass laws saying citizens can be arrested, held forever, tortured, killed, whatever. That's George Washington would love that. We shouldn't do anything to try to resist this. Okay, I'm being sarcastic now. The point is that they're slowly accelerating their program, and now they're getting pretty much to a jog now of censorship and control that they're ordering, that whole databases of terms they give Google be delisted. And this is kind of an a la carte internet kill switch. I've got that in the news that I'm going to raise with Mancow and some other issues coming up in the next hour. But just huge developments that are taking place right now. That's why more than ever, you've got to get the URL of Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com out to everybody you can. Spray paint it on the side of your business. Spray paint it on your billboard or the side of your barn if it's your property. We don't say write it on bathroom stalls over the cuss words. You don't want to censor the cuss words. That's wrong. I'm not saying if there's some globalist Homeland Security billboard to climb up on it and spray paint Infowars.com. We should let them have a traitor Senate who says they're allowed to insider. Now, we've got a bunch of reports coming in. Foreclosure fraud whistleblower has been found dead. MSNBC is reporting just incredible information on that front. More news on Fukushima radiation risk are severely underestimated. No kidding. We're going to be getting into all of that. We've got incredible federal orders now, basically following the orders of Herr Lieberman, to extrajudicially start delisting anti-government, quote, terror-supporting websites off the web, just delisting them so you can't find it. We're already have been delisted from Google News, Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com in the last year. They've moved us down in the rankings, even though we're #1. They're doing everything they can, but now there's government announcements